At the end of the month, I'll have 1 million.
How possible is that? What are the steps that you want to take to be able to make that 1 million at the end of the month?
I don't like being in a mediocre situation, yes.
That doesn't work. I don't think that works for me personally.
I don't say that you want to go to Pluto and you're on Earth, and the first thing is going to be setting smart goals.
Sorry to oppose you, but I think that the human being has been too programmed.
Oh my God, you know what? I don't give a fuck about what you think. Excuse me.
I'm going to score 3 goals today.
Healthy mindset, healthy lifestyle. Hi, I'm your host, Sih Njong for Healthy Mindset, Healthy Lifestyle. And here with me, I have my co-host and a guest of honor. Our co-host, Sunjo Thomas. Welcome.
Thank you.
And a guest of honor, Karen Sunjo. Welcome.
Thank you.
I'm so happy to have you.
Same here.
All right. So we'll dive straight into a topic for the day. Today we'll be talking about personal development. And Karen is an expert with the topic personal development, so she'll be sharing her insights on that. But before that, we'll have Tommy. So when you hear of the topic personal development, what comes to mind? What are your thoughts?
When I hear personal development, I think about building yourself,
Okay.
trying to get better, trying to gain more knowledge, just in every aspect, not a particular aspect, trying to get better in everything that is positive for yourself and for the environment. So that's literally what I think about personal development.
All right, nice. And our experts in the matter, please tell us a little bit more and throw more light on personal development.
Nobody call me expert.
Okay, I'm sorry.
All right. In the simplest terms, I'll just say personal development is a process through which you acquire skills to make yourself better in different aspects.
Okay.
So that's like the simplest way to put it. Doing things that are going to help you to progress in the different aspects of your life. It means that you're developing yourself personally. It just means that you're becoming a better person with regards to the different things that you actually involve yourself in.
All right, that's nice. Okay, so first of all, I think to be able to get to that aspect where you become a better person, I think that some steps we need to follow and other things that help to get you to that place. So what are those things you think will help get you to that space where you become comfortable and really confident in who you are as a person?
All right, so with regards to personal development,
Yeah.
I believe that the main thing is, first of all, the habits.
Okay.
The habits that you have. The habits that you have can either make you or break you.
Okay.
The habits that in fact, habits are basically things that you have done for over a long period of time and they have just become like part and parcel of you. So if you have habits that are bad, definitely it's not going to help you to become a better person. And if you have good habits, it's going to help you to grow in the things that you do.
Okay.
So now, talking about habits, I believe that first of all, it is you, as much as you can build habits, you can equally break habits.
Okay.
So because you have a bad habit does not mean that you cannot break this habit and change it into being a good habit. First of all, to be confident in yourself, you have the habits that are going to permit you to excel or to perform like as your best self with regards to different things that you're doing. So it means that you need to first of all check for the habits that you have and check if they actually align with the path that you're going in.
Okay.
So if I have this habit of doing this particular thing, does it help me with regards to the objectives that I have for myself? I want to become this kind of person. The habits that I'm portraying now, are they things that are going to help me to become the person that I say I want to be? And if the habits don't align, if you want to, first of all, like maybe you want to read, you want to know more about a particular topic, means that you need to read about it.
Yeah.
Now you go back to check, do you have that habit of reading? If you don't have the habit of reading, it now becomes a goal for you to actually build a reading habit, because you know that because you have this habit, you're going to now progress, you're going to go towards that path that you want to be, and you become more confident in yourself because you know that you're apt enough to be this person that you want to be, you're apt enough to have this knowledge about this thing that you want to do. So building habits and breaking the bad habits that you have, first of all, it starts with replacing the bad that you have with good. So it means that if you want to build a habit of reading because you want to be more knowledgeable in a particular topic, it means that first of all, you need to have a book. You need to have books that relate to that thing that you want to do. And now let's say, for instance, you're always in your room and the first thing that you always do is to pick up your phone to scroll on social media.
Yeah.
Ensure that in your room you have the books there, because your environment is going to influence a lot on maybe building a habit. If you want to build the habit of reading, the books should be around you so that when you see it, you remember that this is something I want to do. And of course, building a habit does not necessarily mean that because you start today, obviously it's going to become part and parcel of you.
Yeah.
Building a habit means that you can succeed today and tomorrow you don't succeed. But the essence is just, you know that this is what I have to do. And if it's what I have to do, even if I'm not able to do it consistently, just bear in mind that it's a habit that you're trying to build. You don't yet have that habit. And so you need to actually constantly work on it. You want to read more. That book should always be there so that when you go to your room, it clicks in your head that, oh, let me instead drop my phone and pick up the book. And one thing that helps with building habits as well is tracking your progress over time.
Okay.
Because if you don't have something to look back on to say, oh, this is what I want to do, and this is how I've been able to follow through with it, then you're not going to really be able to assess, or you're not going to be able to assess how well you've been able to perform with regards to building that habit. But if you're able to track the habits, you know that, okay, I've gotten to this point, maybe in the month I intended to read a book on the topic that I'm trying to gain more knowledge about. I intend to read this book at least 20 times in a month, or every 20 days out of 30 days in a month, I should read. So that you track yourself over that period of time. I read today,
you tick. I
don't read, you mark an X. I read, you tick. So that end of the month, you're able to count, oh, out of 20 times, how many times was I able to do this thing? Let's say maybe 10 or 20. And you know that you're supposed to, it automatically tells that you need to do better the next month because you're trying to cultivate that habit. So basically, if what entails you, you need to do an assessment. What are the things that I need to do to become better in this particular domain that I'm going in? And then now you take it upon yourself to build habits that are going to help you to be better. And you track those habits over time so that you make sure that you're actually doing something with regards to where you want to be. You're doing something daily about it.
Oh, wow. That's really nice. So tell me, what do you think about building habits?
Okay, I think that, sorry to oppose you, but I think that the human being has been too programmed. It's like, to build a habit, you have to do this day in, day out. You have to do this. You have to track yourself. I don't believe in that personally.
Okay.
I believe in challenges.
Challenging yourself.
I believe that if I want to build a habit, because personally, my main drive is a challenge.
Yeah.
If someone tells me that I cannot do this, I'll be looking forward to doing it so I can disprove the person. I don't believe in programming stuff to do. So if I'm being challenged, I'm going to take it upon myself to learn it, whether I'm recording myself or not. That's just how I can build a habit. Yes, if I want to work out, if somebody tells me that, oh, you're too fat, it's going to challenge me or intrigue me. I want to work out. It's going to really it's going to take a toll on me. So I'll have to go to the gym. I'll have to be working. It's like I have to think now. It's not just being me, but it's just like, it's a must. Like, I must do this in order to be like this. I would like to challenge that person. So that's just how I build my own habits, yes, through challenges.
Wow. Means you have a very strong willpower to be able to use challenges as a means of building a habit, which is nice. And
okay, I get your point very well. But what I want to ask is, do you necessarily have to wait for somebody to challenge you before you work on a particular aspect? let's say you spoke about somebody tells you, hey, you're fat.
Mm-hmm.
If you're comfortable being fat, because the person has said you're fat, is that why you're going to go and work out in the gym just because somebody commented on the fact that you're fat? Or are you doing it because you really want to do it? Or just because somebody has challenged you, like, why are you fat like this? And then I say, let me hit the gym.
Normally, a challenge must not necessarily have a third party. Sometimes I myself can challenge myself to do stuff.
Okay.
Yes, I don't necessarily need a third party, but
So
I feel like I work harder if there's a third party. If there's I have to prove something to someone
somebody.
than proving it to myself. I'll be
Okay.
lazier than if I'm to prove to someone else.
It'll make
Okay.
you work harder.
Yes.
Okay, I get
Wow,
you now.
that's
I get you now
nice.
very well. And I think that that's where the place of an accountability partner comes in.
Okay.
Somebody that is there to check in, like, okay, Tommy, you said you're going to do this. How far are you? Like, how far are you in that thing that you say you want to do? So that, because like you said, you need, if you don't necessarily need a third party, but if you have a third party, it motivates you more. And I think that that's the part that an accountability partner plays when you're on this personal development journey. Because obviously it is not the easiest thing. Like, today you'll be up, tomorrow you'll be down, today you'll be up.
The days that you feel, the days that you make
exactly, but if you have an accountability partner, that's somebody that you must always go back to and say, okay, this is what I said I was going to do. Okay, this is how far I've gone. Or not necessarily you going to the person,
or
but
the person coming back to you and always
when
making
you know
sure
that somebody is going to come back to you, it kind of equally puts you in that mood of, hey, let me do this thing, because if this person comes and asks me, I don't want to say I did not do it. So having an accountability partner equally helps you even on that journey of building habits or just generally personal development.
Okay.
Yeah.
So that's a very interesting one. So I think,
please, we have not heard your own take on.
Yeah, I was just about.
Okay.
I was just about to in. So I think personally, I've tried being challenged to build or break some habits, and I feel like I've tried that. But at some point, I'm like, my God, you know what? I don't give a fuck about what you think. Excuse me. So that doesn't work. I don't think that works for me personally as a person here, because at some point I'll get to a point where I'm like, okay, so why am I trying to prove a point to you? But when I want to build a personal habit, there are times that I get intentional. Me, to be very honest, when I really want something, I have to pray. Yeah, I have to put myself in that space where I need to really, really pray for God to give me all of the strength and everything I need to get that habit right or get to take it away. But over time, I've been wanting to go by doing the habit tracker, having a habit tracker, because I feel like that now it's more visible. It's something I'm seeing, I'm looking at it. I don't like failure. So just having to mark an X of you've not been able to achieve this is mentally, it just has a whole different tone on me, that I feel like that's the kind of, I want to be on that. That's another level of habit tracking that I want to explore and see how far it gets me. And then having an accountability and somebody who also keeps me accountable, it's something that means a lot to me. I like people who put me on my toes, who say, okay, I said I was going to do this. How far? For instance, I'll take a very typical example. I have a support system who is always there. Okay, Mama, you're supposed to do this. Mama, you're supposed to do that. When it comes down to my podcast, I have Mr. Nick, who is like, since I started working with Nick, it's been, okay, we're doing this. I'm already on this. But he's not even telling me. By the time I know, he's sending me a video of him already doing some work that we were planning to do. He goes ahead and he's already on it. And as he's already working on it, that's already making me to know that, okay, I have to do my own part. I need to step up. So it's really, really helpful having an accountability partner and having a tracker or being challenged, whatever works for you. But I think for me right now, what will work best to add to the things I already have is you using a tracker. Yes, I think that
like you said, actually, I believe that everybody just needs to find what works for them. And to find what works for you, you need to explore. Yes,
exactly.
like, okay, if I've tried this one and it's
It
not
didn't
working,
work.
but now before you conclude that something is not working for you,
You need
you need to
try
have
first.
done it over a period of time that you can use to
Yes.
just, because if you do something for one, be like, it's not working for me, on to the next.
No,
it's not going to be a basis for you to really make judgment about whether or not it's
and
working
one
for
thing
you.
I read in a couple of places when it comes to building habits, like for instance, my daily motivation is to be able to build that habit of having a daily motivation, to know that every day you have to wake up, you have to be positive, you have to say affirmations. I think it's like it takes 21 to 30 days to be able to build a habit.
Yeah.
If you're successfully consistent for 21 to 30 days, there's a high probability of you being able to maintain that habit. So so it's not just about doing it for a very short period of time, but actually focusing and making sure that you try to do it. But at the same time, one thing I know is I got to in the beginning it was quite challenging because when I fail to do it today, I fail to do it tomorrow. I fail to do it after tomorrow. I drop it.
Yeah.
There was that phase that I used to have. Where when I feel like I failed 1, 2, 3, I just feel like, okay, this thing is not for me.
Yeah.
Let me pick up something else. But right now, over time, I got to discover that even if you fail 5 times, it doesn't mean that you're not going to get to where you're going to. You just, if I miss, there was one that I was doing, which was my Bible, reading my Bible every day. Today I read, tomorrow I read, after tomorrow I don't read. The next day I'll still forget. The day after I still forget. The first time when I just started, I stopped. Because I was like, okay. I tried even getting a mobile on my phone. So I can be reading on my phone. Then maybe when I'm anywhere, it doesn't stop me from reading the Bible. But I still discovered that even with my phone, it became, at some point, I found it really challenging. I'll still not read. Yes, I felt like, okay, reading the Bible from my phone, I don't really enjoy it. I don't feel like it gets me, it doesn't give me that connection that I'm looking for. I stopped. But now, making a conscious effort and trying to track it, I think, it's been working. It's been working for me. So I think I found what makes me comfortable in order to build that habit. Yeah. So for me, it works.
Actually, I feel like what she said, there's something she said which was right, and it's about like setting time, like a particular time where you have to read your Bible. Like the same, like for us, there's a particular time when you have to go to school. There's a particular time when you have to go for this particular activity. So it sets your mind running when you see, hey, this
when
time,
that time it's almost
about to reach.
Yeah.
You're active, like I have to get there, I have to read my Bible. And she also said something that's placing your Bible by your bed or somewhere
let it be
very
somewhere
accessible,
you can see.
somewhere that you go to often. It's
going to help. Thank you very much. I'll keep that in mind. So the next question I would like to ask is, when it comes to setting goals, I know setting goals is very important, but a lot of people don't really understand what it means to actually set a goal. Because somebody can just say, okay, my goal is to have 1 million at the end of the month. Now, it doesn't just end at doing that. So what makes you, what are the things that will aid you to actually achieve the goal you set? What do you think works?
Okay. I'll start by saying that achieving a goal is not solely based on what I do.
Okay.
Because I might do everything in the best possible way, but at the end of the day, is what God wants for me that is going to happen.
Yes.
So I believe, first of all, that, sorry if there's somebody that is not a Christian that is watching, but I believe so much that if you have to get if something has to, like if you have to get something done, no matter how much, no matter in fact what I do, at the end of the day, if it's not what God wants for me at that time, it's not going to work. But regardless of that, like they always say that, do everything I have to do, like it all depends on you, and pray like it all depends on God, because He really does. So it does not, because it's not a time that you will not know which time is right or when they want you to have that thing. But putting that aside, you first of all say, okay, I'm going to do what I have to do to the best way that I can possibly do it. And now, actually setting those goals, I have like, let me just say, I have like a little process that I go through to be able to set goals and to that help me. That in fact the process helps me to be able to really follow through with what I say I have to do. And the first thing is going to be setting smart goals. Because like you said, somebody can randomly say, oh, I want to make 1 million by the end of the month. Okay. Then how possible is that? What are the steps that you want to take to be able to make that 1 million at the end of the month? But now the first thing is like when you're setting a goal, the goal has to be smart. There's the SMART principle. SMART, whereby S stands for specific, M stands for measurable, A stands for attainable, R stands for reachable, and T stands for time bound. I believe that first of all, for you to say that I have a goal, you need to pass it through the SMART principle. So make sure that there's an ingredient like is as specific as, in fact, it's smart basically. It follows this process for it to first of all even make sense. Like let's say going back to the example of, okay, I want to make 1 million by the end of the month. First of all, you need to assess before going down and setting that this is the goal that I want. First of all, you need to even do like introspection. Okay, is this something that does this make sense? Is this something that I can do? Because you cannot sit. Yes, as much as you want to dream big, don't dream as if it's going to be magic. Because you cannot sit right now and say that. And right now, at this point in time, let's say that was on the 1st of, I'm just taking an example, let's say this is the 1st of August. And you're telling yourself that you want to make 1 million by August ending and you don't have a job. Yes, it's possible any source of income. It's possible that along the way, you're going to get a job. So the first thing should not be, I want to make 1 million. The first goal even should be you even getting a job in the first place that's going to help you now to be able to make that money. So now setting goals, you set the goals accordingly based off on the state that you are currently in. You set your goals and not that you should maybe make yourself small or don't dream big. But still said, that's why they say, that's realistic. Why in the SMART process, the goal should be realistic. Exactly. It should be realistic based off on where you are. I can comfortably set a goal about, okay, hey, I want to I'll generate 1 million for my business this month because I already have a business that I'm running. And so I already know that it is already possible. When I get a job or when I get a business running, I can now set a goal about, okay, I'm going to make 1 million. But before I actually have that business, the first goal should be even, okay, what is the plan? What business do I want to start? Putting everything in place. And that's why it goes back to SMART. You need to be specific. Let's assume that you have a business that you're running. So you need to now be specific. Okay, the specific part of the goal is you want to generate 1 million, let's say from your clothing business. It has to be measurable. Yes, measurable equally is the amount of money. You know exactly how much. Don't just say I want to make money from my business this month. How much money do you want to make? You're able to measure that this is the amount that I want to be able to generate. It needs to be attainable, reachable kind of go like hand in hand. Yes, so it should not just be something out of space that they are still trying to figure out, first of all, what their source of income is going to be. Look like. And then you're already setting on the 1st of August that by the 30th of August, you are going to make 1 million from a business that does not already exist. So first of all, it needs to be attainable, it needs to be reachable, and it needs to be time bound. Like, okay, I generate 1 million francs for my clothing business by the 30th of August. First of all, when you read that, maybe you're written it down somewhere, it already makes sense to you. It's kind of clear. You know how much you're supposed to generate, you know where it's supposed to come from, and you know when you're supposed to actually get that done. When that goal is set, now it does not end there. Because you can set your goals and you go and sleep, and when the 30th of August is going to come, you're not going to have no 1 million francs. But when you set that goal now, you need to go to the next step, which is breaking down the goal. Because sometimes when you look at the goal, 1 million. Let's say that the month has started on day one, you have never even sold even one dress. So you're already being like, Karen, that goal, 1 million,
1 million.
every month. Are you sure it's possible? Can you be able to do it? But the first thing now is that when you set the goal for it to not overwhelm you, you now need to break it down.
Yeah.
You need to break it down into small objectives. Because if it's just a big one, it might confuse you. But when you break it down, you actually know that, okay, this is what I'm starting with. Let's say now I know that I have a clothing business that I'm running. So it means that if I'm supposed to generate 1 million francs in the next 1 month, the month has 4 weeks.
Yes.
So you can take the first week to be the week of strategically planning, like, this is what I'm going to, this is my content plan, the content I'm going to put out on my platform to push my products. This is the marketing plan. This is the, so you can just say, okay, the first 1 week of the month is to put everything in place, maybe to create the necessary content that you have to put out on platforms to be able to advertise your business. You know that, okay, now the next 3 weeks is for you to be able to actually generate the 1 million francs. You can break it down, because when you start out, it's not going to be as booming as when you've already done a lot. So you can say the first week of the 3 weeks that are remaining, the target is for you to be able to make at least 20% of the sales. The second week is to make 30% of the sales. The third week is to make 50% of the sales. So it means that when you have broken down the goal that way, you're not only, the first week, you'll not be thinking about the 1 million that you have to make.
Yeah.
The first week, you're thinking about
20%.
that's going to be for the second week. Yes. So the first week is going to be you thinking about what is the plan that I'm going to follow to be able to do, and you break down the plan. This is what I'm going to do. Week 1 has 7 days. This is what I'm going to do on Monday. So you leave from the objectives to the daily objectives. So from the general objectives to the daily objectives. On Monday, I'm supposed to do this. On Tuesday, I'm supposed to do this, right up to Sunday. So you know everything I'm supposed to do for the week. And moving on to the next week, you plan now. You're planning sales for the first 20% that you need to achieve. 20% of 1 million is going to be 200,000 francs.
Yes.
So you're planning in such a way that you need to make sure that you're going to make sales of up to 200,000 francs. But the thing now that should not discourage is that, week 1 is over. I've not made up to 200 francs. You need to instead re-strategize. Okay, I was not able to make 200. Maybe I made 100. What are the things that I should improve on so that the next week is going to be better? Because you don't need to now feel discouraged that, I've not been able to do this. Now it's not possible. That's why you need to, first of all, mindset is very important when it comes to personal development. Because it's either you have a bad mindset that is going to always put you in the space of doubting yourself, or a good mindset that is always going to put you in that space of it's possible, you can do it. Yes, it did not go as you wanted it to go, but you can still do it. So you need to first of all put yourself in that space of you're in a positive mind frame, which is not going to always be the case. And that's why you need things that are equally going to motivate you. Like you need things that are supposed to be like, I'm supposed to do this. I'm supposed to, I should put myself in this space. If I'm not motivated, what motivates me? Is it music? Is it reading my Bible? Is it just so that you're in that
something
space?
that takes you out of a bad mood into a
exactly
good one.
And when you break it down that way now, it just makes it easier for you to follow through with the goal that you have. So you just know that on this day I'm going to get this thing done, and you just follow it like that.
All right, that's a very, very helpful tip. Tell me.
Yeah, it's actually very helpful, and I feel like I will oppose in some certain ways. I don't really follow the the SMART goal acronym like that, but I feel like there's some aspects to it that I follow. I don't believe in attainability. I feel like I set my limits. If the sky is the goal, if you don't hit the sky, you hit somewhere below it. So I believe in the fact that if I aim too high, even if I don't reach there, I'll be somewhere. Yes, I'll be somewhere. I'll be better off than. Yes. So, like for instance, if I'm to go for a football match or something, before the match, in my head, I'm like, I'm going to score 3 goals today. That is my target. When your target is high, you at least,
You find a way to be
I see that if I don't score 3 goals, at least I'll score at least 1.
goal.
Yes, because I set my goal to be 3. Sometimes I might 2, sometimes 3. But if I was just going and I say, these guys are too tough, let me go for something attainable, 1 goal.
You limit yourself.
I'm limiting myself.
Okay.
Maybe I would have done better. Yeah. So I just believe in, and also what you said about someone saying that, okay, at the end of the month I'll have 1 million. I'm that type of person that will say that kind of thing. Yes, because I love going for the highest. I don't like being in a mediocre situation. Yes, I always like being the top. And if I'm aiming for something, it should be something up there. If I want a budget, I have a target budget at the end of the month. I'll set it as high as it can be. Maybe, yes, at some point I'll try to be realistic. But the highest possible realistic target I can have is what I'm going to set. I feel like with that kind of mindset, you strive to always have more. Like even what you have, you're not comfortable with and you want to have more. I feel like it's a way of being better, to better yourself. Yeah.
Don't get me wrong though. When I talk about being attainable, I'm not saying that you should limit yourself. That's why I started by saying that it does not mean that you should now go low or bring yourself down because you're trying to set something attainable. Still dream big. But now don't say that you want to go to Pluto and you're on Earth, and then there's no possibility for you to go to Pluto in the time frame or there's no possibility for you to go to Pluto. So that's the point of being attainable that I'm talking about. Not like you should belittle what you can achieve.
Exactly. It's really more about being realistic, knowing where you are. And for instance, you said the highest possible goal you can in your reality. That's where now your reality is what it is. You know what, and you know how you can get the
exactly.
distance. But what she's trying to say is, as much as possible, remember your reality first. Remember where you are, and while setting the goal, make sure that it's something that, okay, it is within your reach. Don't try to be in a reality where, for instance, like you said with the job, if you don't have a job, you don't have any means of starting up a business, like literally, you're at the point where you really have nothing, and you're trying to make 1 million within 30 days where you really have nothing, honestly. Like no prospect of getting a job within that time frame, no prospects of starting a business, and you expect to make 1 million. That's very unrealistic. Yeah.
As if it's realistic.
No, in your case.
Not in my case. In anybody's case, I feel like it is realistic.
How?
Because at the end of the day, I've said this and I always say this, nothing is certain. So
True.
I would not love to limit myself to a notion that I don't have, even if I don't have. Even if there's no means at this point, doesn't mean that at some point within the next 30 days, there won't be a means.
So within the next 30 days, you have that means and then you generate 1 million for the remaining days that are left.
At the end of the day, it's possible.
Okay. It's a man. Women and men think differently. Now I'm going to take this on a gender-based thing. He's a man. Let's just back off of this one. But however, that's what works for you, and all the best.
Thank you.
Of course, all the best. But in my case, what I think about goal setting is, like you said, being realistic about it is very important. I can be very, very unrealistic sometimes. My thoughts will run as wild. Somebody who knows me and talks to me on a daily will know how it's possible. Anyways, it's not being unrealistic because I know there are things that can happen.
Yeah.
And most especially when I put my mind to it and put in the work, they can definitely happen. And like you said again, your mindset is an 80% of what will get you to achieve whatever goal you set. Because there'll be down days. There are a lot of down days. But how you pick yourself up and keep going matters. There are down days where I know people who have down this and just remain all down.
Yeah.
Yeah, and which is not good. It's very important to know that, okay, today you can be down. They always say, if today don't feel like waking up, don't wake up, rest. But remember, tomorrow you have to wake up and you have to keep it going. And it's very important to know that it's okay to take a break, it's okay to rest, but it's not okay to give up. Yeah, that's one thing that it's for sure. I see you brought for us a little gift and something to show us. And I know it's something you've been working on for a really long time, since last year. And it's a very important project that has helped you to attain your own personal self-development and is helping many other people. So tell us a little bit about it.
All right. So with us here, we have the Gold Digger Planner.
Okay.
The Gold Digger Planner is a 6 months undated planner.
Okay.
So it's basically a tool to help you on your personal development journey, especially with regards to achieving your goals. Because I feel like there are certain processes that we have to go through to be able to follow up with the things that we say we have to achieve. But sometimes, because we don't have it written down, or we don't have it somewhere that we can always refer back to, it's very easy for us to forget.
Yeah.
You don't forget because it's not important. You forget because, life
It is
has
human.
a lot.
I
Yes,
forget
a lot of things go on in life that can
yeah.
easily stray you away from the goals and the objectives that you have. And that's why it was a constraint for me as well.
Okay.
So bringing it up it was not because, I'm the best planner, I'm the best person that can, I still struggle with things like this. And so it was me coming up with it was basically because it's something that I struggle with, and I'm still on the path of getting better with, which is planning.
Okay.
And I brought it up knowing that if I have this problem, obviously there are equally people around me that have the same problem with maybe planning and all of that. And that's why I was like, okay, why not bring up something that can equally help other people? And that's why I came up with the planner. So the planner has different sections basically that can help for you to follow up with your objectives and even with your daily planning. Because everything starts from the goal, but it goes back to what are you doing on a daily? How are you following through with the objectives that you have on a daily? And that's why in the planner we have sections like where you set your long-term goals, your short-term goals.
Okay.
You have sections where you now break down those goals into actual objectives, so that you're able to follow through with it. And now when you break down those goals into objectives, now you have the daily planning pages, whereby you now plan daily. So everything is it follows like an order. Because if you have this goal, you're broken down to objectives. Now with the objectives, that's what you use to plan daily. It just ensures that you're not always thinking about the goal, but when you're planning when you're writing down your plan for the day, is in accordance with the objectives that you have, just so that you ensure that every day you are working on something
close to your goal.
Exactly. So every day you're working because you're planning with regards to your objectives, and so you're planning based off of what you want to achieve, and it just helps you to unconsciously work on your goals. Like you're working on it, knowing you're planning daily with regards to certain things, and you're not only thinking about the big goal, but you know that you have broken it down into those tiny steps, and those tiny steps will still sum up to helping you to achieve the goal. So that's really what the planner serves for. Just that one place, like you have everything in one place that you can always come back and refer. You can always track your progress. Okay, this is what I was able to do. Now I have to better this part. I need to do like this when I'm planning for the next week. Just like that. So that's what the Gold Digger is about. And the name, because most times when people like they read it, you can just read something without thinking like Gold Digger. They're thinking about Gold Digger, the one that when you're golden, when you're so that's why I chose this name intentionally, like for people to swap or change from being the Gold Digger to a Gold Digger, where you're actually working on the goals and the objectives that you have for yourself.
That's beautiful.
Is there a particular reason why you set the limit to 6 months?
Not really. The only problem is that I wanted the planner to be portable. Like so that people can easily move around with it, so that you're always able to refer back to what you want to do. So when I first of all printed a 1 year planner, it was too big.
Yeah.
And it defeated the idea of being
Of
portable.
portability.
Yes, that's why I broke it back down to, 6
6
months so
months.
that you can always easily move around your planner. Yeah.
All right, nice. And I see we have, it comes with other items. So you tell us a little bit more about
Yeah, so the
those.
planner comes with a notebook which is inside, and
Okay.
then we have the habit tracker. So we spoke a lot about building habits, breaking habits, tracking your habits, and that's why I came up with the habit tracker to accompany the planner.
Yeah.
So that you're building these habits, you have habits that you want to build that are definitely going to help you improve, like on your personal development journey. And so you need to track the habits like we were talking about. And so the planner just helps you to track over a period of 1 month, to like you tick where you were able to get something done, you mark an X. And I believe that just this habit of ticking or marking an X, it just keeps you in that mind frame of, hey, at the end of the day, I don't want to mark an X. I always want to win. I don't want to fail. So it's equally like a tool that equally helps you just to remember, like, oh, I need to get this done. Let me get it done so I don't have to mark an X on my tracker. And now with the tracker, you can always assess yourself at the end of the month. I was able to do this number of times.
So how long have you used your tracker? Have you, before selling, did you ever use one yourself?
Yeah.
Okay. So how long did you use it and how effective was it?
I started using it from last year when I came up with the idea of the planner.
Wow.
Yes, but I did not over time. In fact, you know how everything went on with the planner and the issues that came with it. Yes. So because of that, it caused some kind of this. What's the word? Yes, it kind of disrupted the process. Yes, but for the period of time that I've been using it, has been very effective for me, because just the fact that I need to tick that I've gotten this thing done or mark an X, it just keeps me in that mind frame of, hey, Karen, remember that you have to do this thing so that you mark, and then you have a good score. Yeah.
Okay, I actually like the planner. I think personally, I like the planner because one, it's not dated. So because many things that come with journals, planners, diaries, is they have dates and it limits you. I feel it's so limited already. So for the fact that you had to think about not making it a dated kind of thing, I applaud you for that. Thank you very much. And that's the main reason why I actually love the planner and I'm getting mine. So where can we get the planner and how much does it cost?
All right. You can contact me. I'm sure you're just going to link like my
Yes, I'm going to put your
description box. Yeah. So you can contact me on wherever. You can DM me, Instagram, TikTok, YouTube. My name on all of those platforms is Karen Sunjo.
Okay.
So anywhere you just type Karen Sunjo, you can be able to DM me there. And I can equally leave my phone number. Okay. So that anybody that wants to get one can send me a direct message as well. And everything costs 10,000 francs.
All right, very, very affordable. So guys, do not forget to get your planner. It's very important for your personal journey. Tommy, will you be getting a planner?
Definitely. Why not?
Why not? Very important. It's very important. So we'll move on to our tweets. Do we have any tweets for the day?
No.
Okay.
No.
So
today was about personal development. So
no ranting.
No ranting.
All right. So guys, thank you so much for staying in tune with us on this segment of our podcast, and please do not forget to share, subscribe and like, and as well don't forget to make short videos and send to us, because we will be reposting all of your videos, your comments and every other thing on our social media platforms. Thank you for staying tuned.